I think there are so many expectations for men to be a certain way. That's again that has come with patriarchy and toxic masculinity, because men cannot express, men cannot cry, men cannot be anxious, men cannot feel bad, and if men do all of those things, then they're considered weak.
There's one more thing which I've really observed is people saying that a child cannot feel anxious, people saying that you are too young to experience anxiety, or why do you have anxiety in this age?
There's no age limit. I mean, anxiety doesn't come at a particular age, right? Small children can feel anxious. They are also going through some things, going through the struggles that are related to their age. That will cause them some amount of anxiety. And if it is too much, then it's good to take them to a mental health professional. But you cannot disregard or invalidate someone's struggles because theirs look like it is smaller than yours.
Like you mentioned, that they will be going through something that is related to their age, that is as they're developing. So for example, a 6-year-old who's going to school can feel very anxious because it is a very new experience for them.
Of course.
Right? Or like if adolescent is stepping out of their school and getting into a new phase of college, it can cause them anxiety. Or there is one more thing which I've also observed, that men cannot feel anxious, or men are supposed to man up. Right? So it feels very
I think there are so many expectations for men to be a certain way. That's again that has come with patriarchy and toxic masculinity, because men cannot express, men cannot cry, men cannot be anxious, men cannot feel bad, and if men do all of those things, then they're considered weak, right? So I think we have to get away with that narrative, because men are human beings that should be allowed to express themselves without being judged, right? So I don't think I feel like vulnerability is strength.
Do you think that this expectation out of a man that they shouldn't feel anxious can cause them anxiety itself?
Of course. They have to put up a front, right? Like they have to put up a facade where they're like, oh, I should not show them that I'm anxious. I should not show that I'm scared. Men are allowed to feel scared, allowed to feel anxious, allowed to cry, right? And adding this another layer that I'm not supposed to, I have to pretend to be a certain way to fit into the society, can also create so much of anxiety.
It's like shutting them into a pressure cooker and just letting them be. So we spoke about what anxiety is. We spoke about the signs and symptoms. We spoke about how normal it is for every age group to experience this. For obvious reasons, therapy being one of the very useful tools or useful ways to deal with anxiety, it is not always available, right? Because a therapist is available only during certain hours. What are some ways where we as people in general can do to deal with our anxiety, our everyday anxiety? For example, I feel very anxious before giving an interview. I feel very anxious if I have to talk to somebody new. I cannot call my therapist and tell him that, I'm feeling anxious, what do I do?
But before telling that there are different ways to soothe anxiety, I also want to say that there are so many different types of anxiety disorders, like generalized anxiety disorder, or health anxiety, social anxiety, panic disorders. So there are a lot of things which I'm assuming you will touch base on in the next episodes. But some things that you can do without going to therapy. Some of the things that you can do to manage anxiety is the first one is grounding technique. Grounding techniques are nothing but the techniques that help you bring you back to the present moment or to the reality. And one of it is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique, right? So there are 5 things that we can see right now. Would you like to name it?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I can see this table, I can see the couch, I can see you.
Yeah.
I can see the pillow behind you. Okay, I've done 4, right? And I can see this.
Okay. And then 4 things you can touch.
I can touch myself here. I can touch the couch. I can touch this table. I can touch the floor beneath me.
Yeah, okay. And then 3 things you can hear.
I can hear your voice. I can hear the fan. and I can hear the traffic outside.
Two things you can smell.
I can smell food and I can smell my perfume.
Okay. And one thing you can taste.
Okay, water.
Water. Okay. Yeah, so this is one of the techniques that you can use to...
So I think this was so helpful because I did not focus on my thoughts, but I was busy searching for things I can see, things I can touch, things I can smell. So this is a very essential technique to sort of stimulate your organs because you're shifting your focus from your thoughts to your senses.
Yes, yes.
Click on the bell icon to watch our latest videos.